Hey, what's up, Market Moose? Mike from the Moose on the Loose. Welcome to Retirement Friday. Today, we're going to talk about a major misconception many retirees with a defined benefit pension plan have. What's that misconception? Well, they think that they have to, they're forced, or they must take CPP at the age of 65 because their pension is synced with their CPP. And that is a big mistake. And a big mistake in a sense where it's a mathematical big mistake. Because of course, when it comes down to make decisions around retirement, there are a lot of different strategies, a lot of different options. The point is to know the pros and cons of each options and then take the one that helps you sleep well at night. So from time to time, you may decide that you're not making the optimized way, you're not making the optimized strategy, but you decide that because it's more convenient for you, and that's totally fine as long as you know for that. And this is where I'm saying it is a mistake to take CPP at 65 because your defined pension plan goes down at the same age. So here's the thing. Here's how defined pension plan works, right? So you work for X many years, you get to your pension, and then your employer offers you two opportunities. The one that you can retire at the age of 60 and make $50,000 forever, and the other one would be, but you can actually get $10,000 from CPP. So that's an assumption. So the pension plan say, well, let's assume that you're making the average $10,000 a year of CPP at the age of 65. And then you can still retire at the age of 60, but instead of paying you $50,000 a year forever, we're going to pay you an extra 10, so $60,000 on the first 5 years. And after that, when you turn 65, you are still going to receive $60,000 a year because CPP is going to kick in. So the first, and that is called the early retirement bridge benefit. So it's usually just a calculation that they're making on their end, saying, well, it's the equivalent to you of paying like $50,000 a year forever, or $60,000 the first 5 years, and then integrate that with the CPP to keep the $60,000 forever, but not coming from the defined pension plan, the DB plan, but rather a combination of the DB plan plus CPP. So it's great for budgeting because you start at 60 and you're always at 60. And it's also good because you get the OAS kind of like a bonus. So you're getting even more pension later on. So you're just like, wow, like I can spend more money. First things first, it's important to understand that the assumption is made on an average. So it's not necessarily your CPP that you're going to receive. You may be receiving more, maybe you're going to receive less. You need to find out that number because the pension plan is not going to call CPP and say, hey, you know what? How much Mike is going to receive in 65 in CPP? Okay, we're going to coordinate that. It's not the way it works. They just make an assumption that's roughly an average, but maybe you're going to receive more or less. So that's the number one. Number two, there is a bonus if you delay CPP until the age of 70. So it's a bonus of 0.70% each month that you delay, up to 42% bonus at the age of 70. I mean, 42 bonus point. I mean, that's a lot, right? But the catch is you cannot take it between 65 and 70. So if you have RSPs, it could be a very interesting strategy. Instead of taking your CPP at the age of 65, postpone it until the age of 70, and then you're going to get the bonus. On top of having the bonus, so that's the first advantage of doing this strategy. The second one is if you have RSP plus a defined benefit pension plan plus CPP plus OAS, at one point, you may get into a higher marginal tax rate if you wait until the age of 70 and until you turn your RSP into, at the age of 71, to turn your RSP into a RIF. So after the age of 71, you're going to receive CPP, OAS, defined pension plan, and a minimum amount from your RIF that you have no control. And if you have a large RSP, that could become a problem. So there's a chance of tax optimization by withdrawing RSP a little bit faster than waiting until the age of 71 to convert it. So chances of tax optimization, a bonus up to 42% on your CPP. And the last one that is really interesting is it's going to put less pressure on your portfolio to perform as you age, because you will already benefited from that money at a younger age. And then once you're 75 or 80, you won't need your portfolio to perform that much because you will rely on mostly secured income. So the defined pension plan, the CPP, and the OAS. So you have like 3 advantages of postponing CPP. Of course, it's not always the case. If you don't have any RSPs, it's probably not worth it, but it's just more to understand that there's a big difference between having a early retirement bridge benefit and being forced to take your CPP at a specific age. You're still the one deciding, and there are still other options that you can do. So in conclusion, just remind yourself that there is no link between your CPP and the DB pension. It's just an assumption, and it's just like a calculation that they're making to find an equivalent. The real solution will be found by running numbers, exploring different scenarios. Maybe it's better off to retire at the age of 65 because you're going to get even more money from your pension. Or maybe you can retire at the age of 60, use your RSP at that point, and bridge that gap with your RSPs or other investment. And then at the age of 70, you're going to receive CPP and OAS with an additional bonus. So your pension is going to be higher. It's going to be indexed. So that could be interesting to take it later on in life. Once you have run all the numbers, then you'll know the best strategy for you. And then you can do some tax optimization as well. Because I mean, that could be interesting to find a few $1,000 here and there, right? That could pay for another cruise, or it could pay to help like your children, or to renovate the house, or to do whatever is on your bucket list, which is always fun. And when I think about retirement planning, I always try to spend as much money as possible because we work so hard for our money. It's about time that we spend and we enjoy, right? So in summary, you have a DB pension plan, you're already golden. That's amazing because it's getting pretty rare these days, right? So you get a DB pension, you can retire early, benefit from the early retirement benefit plan that gives you more money up front. This is usually something that is great. When it goes down, you can either take the bridge with the CPP or postpone the CPP, do some potential tax optimization by using your RSP in the meantime, and wait until the age of 70 before you get CPP and OAS. So you maximize your government benefit. They are supported by the government. They are indexed, so that could be interesting. Again, it's all about running the numbers. There's not one single solution for retirees. There are many options, and the best option for you is always the one that helps you sleep well at night. So, all right, Moose, that's enough for today. We're going to talk again on Monday. And until then, don't forget to stay invested.